Plans for what will replace the Eastfield Mall when it closes in July up for a public hearing tonight in Springfield. Good Monday evening, everyone, and welcome to Western Mass News at 6. I'm Chris Pisano. A special permit request has been made by the company purchasing that property. And Western Mass News reporter Paris Dunford joins us live after getting answers on what's being considered. Paris.
Chris, tonight the Springfield City Council will vote on whether or not they want to grant that special permit. Now, as you mentioned, the request was made by the new owners of the Eastfield Mall property, Onyx Springfield Crossing LLC. As we've been reporting, the Eastfield Mall will officially close its doors by the end of summer. Under the new ownership, the mall will be developed into a mixed-use commercial and retail hub. The developer has told us that Chick-fil-A, Old Navy, and PetSmart are possible businesses that could be included. Western Mass News spoke with City Councilor Victor Davila to learn why this zoning change is needed in order for Onyx to move forward with the property. He explains it's because they plan to demolish the mall and build multiple different structures in its place.
It is my understanding that some of the new tenants that are going to be coming in are going to be doing medical offices, which requires a zoning change, and also drive-up services, which definitely requires a zoning change.
Now, the new owners are currently working with the city to help relocate current mall tenants so they can keep their businesses going. Davila says he hopes he will better understand how they are going to do that after tonight's hearing. Now, that meeting begins at 7 tonight. We will bring you the very latest tonight on Western Mass News at 10 and 11. But for now, reporting live in Springfield, Paris Dunford for Western Mass News.
Paris, thank you.